In today's Black Library review, we're going to be checking out Outgunned by Denny. And this one is narrated by Philip Sacramento. I like listening to the audiobooks. I can listen to them while I paint, while I do some other hobby. And there's always some great narrators in there. And Philip Sacramento, I think, is one of the most enjoyable voices I've listened to on any of the audiobooks point out by Black Library. I could listen to his voice all day. It was really a joy to listen to your work, Philip. But I think this is the first story I've actually listened to by Denny. And this was a really surprising journey, this book. So let's get cracking on and let's get into the review. And so our story, the Aeronautica Imperialis are the masters of the sky in the 41st millennium, waging wars at breakneck aerial combat where the only skill stands between victory and death. Flight Commander Lucille von Schad is an ace, a living exemplar of what it means to fly in the name of the Emperor. Or apparently, so our character propagandist Kyle Stimlex is told. Braving the fated waters of Bacchus and its rampaging greenskin hordes, Stimlex is tasked with producing a cinema pict portraying Shard as an Imperial hero. Shortly after his arrival planetside, however, he will discover that the war effort is in utter shambles. The Imperium's overstretched forces are in full retreat, are struggling to maintain any coherency, and the local planetary governor is in complete denial about everything about how bad it is actually going. And he learns that Shard, well, she's maybe not the idealistic hero everyone talks her up to be. But these skills of Shard's may prove the only hope for survival for the people on the planet and for something vast and terrible that does lurk within the clouds. Now, like I said, there is a few interesting things in here. I think just listening to something about Aeronautica Imperialis is really cool. And so this book's purpose, like I said, it's really interesting to get something talking about the Aeronautica Imperialis. I can't say I've listened to anything that has them in such a major role within the story, let alone, the main characters in this. There's two really good things in this. First of all, it shows us, the dangerous lives the member of the Aeronautica live, and a little bit about them, which is really cool. But also, having a propagandist who will be a main character is really interesting for the story, because he is made to sort of promote, war zones and promote fighting in the Emperor's name. He's made to get people to sign up because willing soldiers are always better than conscript soldiers. And it's really interesting on that sort of aspect to it. And so our main character is Kyle Stimlex, the propagandist. And they definitely is some a decent amount of screen time given to Lucille von Schad, but she's not our main character. But Kyle Stimlex is our main character. He's an Imperial propagandist. Like I said, he's trying to make a pict to get people to join the Aeronautica Imperialis, to get people to sign up to fight in the Emperor's name. Like I said, very Uncle Sam of him. However, maybe not the correct analogy, because this definitely, his story for me is a little bit different than that. And so what does change about our main character? And like I said, there's definitely, I guess, where he starts off is very Uncle Sam. We want you to fight the war. The Imperium wants you to fight the war. That's where this story starts with Stimlex. But definitely, this reminds me of a scene when I was watching the movie For All Quiet on the Western Front. And his character sort of changes to the scene where the surviving members go back to their professor, their teacher, sort of, indoctrinated them to sign up and to join the armed forces and fight in the war. And he talks about how all his friends are dead, telling the professor, this is nothing like what you told us it was like. This is nothing like what it was supposed to be, what it sort of preached about to us like. And I get that sort of sense of that's how it changes from that one sort of view to that other sort of view by the end of it, which I think is really, really interesting to see over the course of the character, and very, very well done. And what does this book do well? That what I was just talking about, the disconnect between what the Imperium's propaganda is telling you to fight in the Emperor's name, you know, making it seem like this super glorious thing, and what is actually happening out in the battlefields of the 41st millennium for the Imperial soldiery, even, I guess, the more noble soldiery that are, you know, the members of the Aeronautica Imperialis. It really does a great job at sort of playing that story and showing the change of, like, someone's view on, like, oh, this is what it's actually like here. Which I really, really enjoyed. It's done so well. And so, who would like this book? This is an interesting one because Aeronautica Imperialis, definitely if you're into planes, you're into aviation, warfare, and all of that sort of stuff, I think this is a really interesting read for you. Imperial Guard fans probably get a little bit out of this, is talking about, you know, your Valkyrie pilots and all of that. But I don't think this hits any sort of particular army. This, for me, was just a really good book. I really enjoyed this. I would highly recommend this to anyone that wanted a nice, just good story to listen to. I'd recommend this to non-Warhammer friends. And then, in summary, like, this was a really surprisingly great story. When I picked this one up, this was not one I was expecting to sort of hit and for me to enjoy as much as I did. You know, this is sort of an offbeat sort of story, talking about something that's not related to any army I really am collecting or any part of an army I'm really into. I've started picking up Aeronautica Imperialis, and we'll probably have it featured on the channel sometime very soon. But this was really, really good. It's something different for the focus that I've not read a lot about. I really enjoyed the dynamic and the portrayals and the character evolution. Story was really well told, put together. It was paced really nicely. There's good lots of action, good lots of intrigue, lots of little background flavor thrown in, and like I said at the start, Philip Sacramento's voice is worth the listen alone. I can't say enough. I'm probably, man crushing over the man, but it was really, really enjoyable. If you've picked this up and you've listened to this, let us know what you thought down in the comments below. For me, this is an easy 9 out of 10. One of the best things in Black Library I've read this year. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also, drop us a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to go and chat more with me and other members of our community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. If you'd like to help support the channel more, you can do so either by Patreon or YouTube members, or going to our Teespring store, all of which are linked down in the video's description as well. As a special thank you to our patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So, a special Patreon shout out to Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Aaron Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek Bloobs, Benjamin Suarez, and Red Martin. And as thank you to our YouTube members as well: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink, Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, and Davis Wire. Special thanks also to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel, like you can see pictured here on this slide. Thank you once again for watching, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.